Hello friends, hello, and welcome to Bringers of the Light Sunday, where we tap into the energies of the week ahead to share with you what magic and what fun and what frequencies are surrounding you this week. Our intuitively chosen artwork for the week ahead is the Rose Dragon. And I don't know what kind of rose it is because it didn't really tell me, so we'll have to play along with the game this week, I think, to figure out what deeper meanings things hold for us. Let's get a few cards to see what this week ahead. This is week of January. Oh, the week of January 22nd. And we have a first quarter moon on Tuesday. And an official Mercury retrograde begins on Wednesday. Although if you're sensitive to that, you've already been feeling the shadow side of Mercury retrograde. So let's get a rose and see what this week ahead is all about. Following, we're still in eclipse season. We've still got another eclipse coming next week, March the 3rd. Okay, what's our rose for this week ahead, the week of the 22nd? Apothecary rose, wheatgrass, sheep, gluten-free, internally motivated. Hello, dear. Let's go stay at a nice hotel. Rose qualities are this is a European rose. So this little rose, the apothecary rose, is a European rose used in herbal remedies. Shakespearean, I think Shakespeare talked about it. And then it has to do with memory, meaning, and medicine. I would say pay attention to your internal guidance. Like guidance, I just saw 222. Guidance you might be getting about stuff for your body, because wheatgrass is like wheatgrass shots, gluten-free. And today I was guided to change the type of milk I've been drinking, and I wasn't even paying attention to that, but I was like, why is my stomach so upset every day? I'm already meat free. I do eat some fish, but I'm already meat free and dairy free. And I was like, what is going on with my stomach? And I was like, maybe it's the soy milk I'm drinking. Maybe soy is doing something. So just pay attention to that. So I was guided to switch the milks and see if that makes me feel any better. So now we have the City of Dreams. Let's see what's add on to this message for the week ahead with the Rose Dragon. Celebrate your wins. Doesn't that look like that in a way? Kind of. And there's New York City in the background. I think there's a lot of freedom. I just saw 333. I think there's a lot of freedom codes coming up from the Mother Gaia right now. I do like this little book. Let's see what the book has to say about celebrate your wins. Fireworks boom over the city on this hot summer night, illuminating the sky. The glittering message reminds you to celebrate your accomplishments. Remember how far you've come. Take some time to reward yourself for all your achievements, big and small. Shout it from the rooftops. Okay. Sounds good to me. I feel like the energy is going to be a little bit slower this coming week, building up to the eclipse next week. Maybe like the first 3 or 4 days, you're being guided to slow down because the next eclipse is Headbanger's Ball. Oh my gosh, that's such an old reference to an MTV show from the 80s. Yeah, I think, who knows, right? Let's get a You Are Loved card for this week ahead. What else do we want people to know about the week ahead? Mixed up mermaid. This is the change your perspective card, and I made it to be like, it's supposed to be like the hangman in the tarot, seeing things from a fresh perspective, or what's up is down, what's down is up. Maybe it has to do with the upside down a little bit of like another Stranger Things reference again, where the upside down was like a mirror, like a copy of, there's that doppelganger again, the copy of the 3D world, or was 3D world a copy of the upside down? Oh, we don't really know, because we never have really answered that question. And I feel my energy very slow today. I am working with some spring allergies. A tree pollen, it's very high around here. So I actually, in order to feel better, exhausted, maybe this is part of it for you too, is usually I don't take like Western, medicine. And so I was trying homeopathy and all these tea, echinacea tea. And last night I tried to lay down, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And finally I told my son, bring me a Benadryl. I can't take it anymore. And took the Benadryl, and within a few minutes I was starting to feel better. And I'm like, it's got to pay attention to what you need most in this now. So let's get a fairy for the week ahead and see what fairy wants to help us in these energies. All right, so we got, what fairy wants to support us this week? Oh, I don't know if I can show that. Lady of the Harvest. So what I'm going to do instead is get the high vibe frequency art, so I don't show Lady of the Harvest on the screen, because YouTube has stuff about nudity. Let's see what the Lady of the Harvest is all about. Completion, grief, loss. It is time to accept change, to move on to the next phase. Power and strength in the present and future come from releasing the past. This is a time of liberation. We might as well cooperate with it. It will happen whether we want to or not. Cry if you need to. Be joyful if that is appropriate. But in either case, trust the process, acknowledge what you feel, and prepare to move on. All right, and then let's get this high vibe frequency art. I think you may feel too like a cotton-headed nitty muggins. It just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot happening in the physical body. What high vibe frequency art wants to support us this week? Synchron. Oh, there's that upside down again. Because there's a girl, and then there's another girl, and there's that firework again. Yeah. I think it's along the lines of all is not as it seems right now. And for any big guidance, any big decisions, you're being asked to seek additional guidance before you move forward with anything. And to just treat this time as a time to gather information rather than acting on it. And when is the time to act going to come, Spirit? Like towards the end of next week and the beginning of the following week. So, because I'm getting that too, there's a lot of stuff I've been trying to put into action, and it just keeps kind of like leading nowhere. So pay attention to that. And right now, just like if there's projects or stuff you want to do, just gather the information. Or if it's like something on your to-do list, like I want to plant a little fairy garden outside, but I still haven't really, drawn the diagram of what I want to go where. Still haven't really like nailed down the plants that I want. And I also have to think about like my energy levels, because I have these grandiose ideas of like this really huge garden. It's like, let's be realistic, maybe pick. My idea was to take some categories. So this might be a way to do it. I like to mind map too. but I wanted like this big garden, like a witch's garden, a fairy garden, an edible garden, a flower, a rose garden. And Spirit's like, whoa, well, I wanted to plant an apple tree. And they're like, pull back a little bit. Think about your current situation and your energy levels. And do you really think you'd have time to successfully take care of all that? And it's like, realistic in my mind, yes. Realistically, probably not, no. So I want it to be successful, right? So they were like, keep your categories, but maybe just pare it down and like do your witch's garden, pick one plant from there, and do your fairy garden, pick one plant from there. So that you can, because you're at that point too, becoming like a guardian of some new plant spirits. And, you want to build relationships with those plant spirits. So you don't need a whole crowd of them to start out with. You want to start with just 1 or 2 or 3 and build some relationships with new ones. So maybe some of you are thinking about something similar, a little patio garden, or, reviving some area of your land or whatever. And it's like, slow your roll. Because I remember too, I was like, I want to make all these paths, and I want to stain my fence, and I want to fix my fence gates and decorate them. And it's like, wow, by the time you do all that, summer's going to be over. We have a very short growing season here in North Dakota. So just be realistic about your goals. Like they still are valid. You're still in the right path, but try to like sit down and prioritize, and then write it down. And at the next lunation, which would be the full moon on the 3rd, bless that list with your full moon meditation or your full moon ritual. And then you'll start to see those things take shape. You'll be guided maybe to go to the store or, go do what you need to do to get your list fulfilled. But right now is not that time. Right now is the time to gather strength, so your physical body, and gather information using the mental body and the emotional body, like how fun and exciting it will be to have this project, done or completed. So it's all about the art of manifestation. And right now you're kind of in the planning, energizing phase, and not necessarily the initiating and taking action phase. So I hope that helps you have a successful week ahead, and we will see you all again soon. And I would say I'm working on this Pinky and Maggie Starstruck audiobook. I've already uploaded 3 or 4 episodes, which is probably about the first, 10 or so chapters. This book is going to be released in ebook at the spring equinox. So if you feel so inclined, you can go to the playlist on YouTube, Spotify, or go to the recent uploads playlist. Take a look at that. And if it seems like a fun adventure to you, show it some love. Take a listen and join in on the story with us. Thank you so much for joining me here. We will see you all again soon. Take care. This episode has been brought to you by Buns and Such, Tessa Locke's premium bakery and workout bar. Visit anytime during the week and enjoy a free mini workout session and chocolate-filled donut. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you again soon.